If you're a language arts teacher, have you heard this? How long does my story have to be? Want to come up with an answer that will actually give you a good story from your student? Stick around and find out. Hey, it's Tuesday, time for another Prompt My Story video. I'm Marty Chan, a storyteller, kids author, and playwright. If you're new to this channel, thanks for checking out this video. Every Tuesday, I put out a story starter and a video tip in the form of a short 5 to 7 minute video to help language arts teachers motivate their students to become better writers. Now, if you're a subscriber to the channel, thank you so much for subscribing. I just crossed over the 500 subscription mark. If you're also a subscriber, you know about my anniversary video where I celebrated the first year of Prompt My Story. And stick around to the end of the video because I have a special announcement connected to my anniversary. If you saw that video, you know exactly what that announcement's going to be. Now on to this video's writing tip, which is actually mostly for language arts teachers. So students, cover your ears. No, you can listen along because this might help you as you're entering the world of publishing as well. For the teachers, if you've ever handed out an assignment, a creative writing assignment, you'll invariably get a couple of students asking this question. How long does my story have to be? Now, the great thing is for those super ambitious writers, if you give them something like 3 pages and no more, it causes them to focus their energy and their creativity so they can cram their magnum opus, their amazing epic story into just 3 pages. On the flip side, with a reluctant writer, it's a bit of a challenge when you say 3 pages, but they tend to be more creative about finding ways to get around writing than actually writing. So what you'll get is a kid who prints really big fonts as they hand in their story. So the first page may be made up of like 12 words, second page will be made up of 6 words, and the third and final page will be made up of 2 words. Now, as a language arts teacher, I'm sure you're trying to figure a way to give page length or story length to students so that you can get those reluctant writers to actually come up with enough of a story that you can look at, and to help those super creative kids to focus their stories. Now, I'm going to share with you a tip that comes from the world of publishing. Yeah, we do worry about the length of stories, of whether they're articles for newspapers and magazines, or the length for novels. Rather than go with page counts, we go with word counts. So when I'm writing a kid's book, if I'm writing for middle grade readers, it's about 35,000 words. If I'm writing for young adult readers, the novel is more like 50,000 words. If I'm tackling books for reluctant readers, it could be anywhere from 8,000 to 12,000 words. In newspapers, when I was writing book reviews for the Edmonton Journal, we had to come up with reviews that were 400 words long. And when I write magazine articles, I'm given a word count length of 800. And if it's a longer piece, it could be up to 1,000 words. Now, the reason for the word count goal in publishing is because there's a lot of paper and paper costs money to print out. And if you don't know how many words a story is going to be, then you're trying to figure out how to budget your paper costs. And so a lot of times with newspapers and magazines, they will have the pages laid out and they'll go, this section right here is devoted to the artwork or the photographs. And this section here is devoted to the article. And over the years, they've learned about how many words will take up a given space. And so 400 words is a nice little short piece. 800 words is a bit of a longer piece. But the writers have to hit around that word count goal. They can't go too much over it and they can't go too much under it. They have to land somewhere in the neighborhood of what the word count goal is, and that helps the publishers figure out how to print the stories. Same thing with book publishers. They know that 35,000 words will equal so many pages in a book, and they can budget to print out that. If your story that was supposed to be 30,000 words turns out to be 60,000 words, the publisher is going to ask you to cut that thing down. So for the language arts teachers out there, instead of using page count as story length guides, try word count. And of course, the great thing is if kids are writing on Chromebooks or laptops, the program will automatically count the number of words. For those who are writing by hand, then they're going to actually have to sit down and do some math and count up the number of words on the page. But either way, it's going to be effective. For those super ambitious writers, it will force them to focus their story and decide what is the most important elements of the story to keep. For your reluctant writers, it's a way for them to actually pad out the story, not by printing bigger, but actually coming up with the descriptive details for characters and for setting, and even come up with some story ideas that will get them to their word count goal. So try that out on your students with the next assignment. And for the students who are watching, keep in mind that if you're a good writer, you should be able to tell a story in 400 words, in 200 words, sometimes even in 10 words. So it's a skill that you need to be able to develop. In fact, let's try it out with this week's story prompt. I'm going to show you a video. You're going to have to come up with a story inspired by the image you're about to see. But my challenge is try to write that story in about 300 words. That's your challenge with our writing prompt right here. All right, and there is the story prompt. Like I said, try to get across a story in 300 words. Now on to the special announcement. A couple of weeks ago, I celebrated the first year anniversary of Prompt My Story, where I wanted to celebrate with something a little different. Instead of me giving you a story prompt, I invited subscribers to send me a story prompt. And I was going to draw one story prompt to be the winner of an autographed book, and it was also going to prompt me to write a story over the next few videos. So many people submitted, and I want to give a special shout out to all the people who submitted. In particular, thank you Lisa, Kyla, and Charlie for your great ideas. The one story prompt that I drew. Here we go. The winner of the 1 year anniversary contest is Gordon Garrity's class at Satu School, and the story prompt is: a family in a small secluded town begins to realize that all the people in the town are beginning to disappear. What is happening? So that is the winning entry, Gordon Garrity. Give me a shout when you see this video and I will send you an autographed copy of my book. Now this brings me to the end of my video, but I have a quick question for anyone who is watching. If you like the notion of more contests where you can win prizes, post down below in the comments section what kind of contests you'd like to participate in. And if I like some ideas, I'll put together another video with a contest where you might be able to win a prize. All right, so that's all for me in this video. I hope you take the advice I gave you and put it to good use. We'll see you all in the next video.